Welcome to the Rocket Rewind, the show where we get together and talk about things that matter, things that are interesting, and shit that might just blow your mind. Yeah, they're our opinions, and you don't have to like them. We might not like yours either, but feel free to share them in the live chat. This is America, where we have free speech, cancel culture, Karens and Darrens, all working together in such super sweet harmony. Yeah, right. Sometimes the things we talk about might help restore our faith in humanity, but all too often it's going to be stuff that might piss you off like it does us. Make sure you have your grown-up panties on and come join the conversation. Oh yeah, and make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss this weekly dose of provocative discussion. The Rocket Rewind, Sundays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's get into it. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is up? Happy Sunday.
Hello, gentlemen.
Man, what an interesting week it has been. My original plan was to kind of pick up just some random videos, but we got a major case to talk about tonight too. Alex Murdoch. We'll throw that one in here. And from what I understand right now, there are some serious protests going on in Atlanta. So we may cut to some live coverage of that. I'm going to pull up some stuff so I can kind of at least keep an eye on it and see what's going on over there. But I reckon we probably need to do a quick run through the chat. What do you gentlemen think about that?
Let's do it.
Let's see. There's Taylor Ray, of course. What's up, Taylor? Good to see you. John Wayne is here. What's up? Rye's been invited there, brother. His ain't his kind of thing. He's not going to be joining us, I don't imagine. Plus, he doesn't want to be on camera. Which is, you know, his whole thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Stu Dorman, what's up? Having ice cream coffee. Oh God, I'm jealous. Michael Tingley's here. What's up? Good to see you. Matthew, aka Mateo, what's going on? Good to see you. There's Jamie H. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Maybe one day Jamie will be able to join us on the show. But he has another thing that starts about halfway through this one, so it's kind of hard for him to do that. Corey Earlywine, what's up? Good to see you, brother. Man, I hope they get your computer figured out soon. We miss hanging out with you. Cernal Gaming is here. What's up, Cernal? Good to see you. I see Brooklyn emergency response videos out of the UK over there. What's going on? You saw a police officer that looks like who?
Me.
Steve.
It looks like Steve.
That's the way I'm reading it. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Oh, yeah. I see he put a little divider in there. Yeah, Steve, I saw a police officer that looks like you. Uh-oh, look at that. Steve's got a law enforcement.
I got a doppelganger. Actually, I got a few of them, apparently.
Oh, wow. No, we're not going to do open things too often there, Taylor. It's going to be a random thing, and you do have to have, in order to participate, you got to have audio and video, of course. Let's see. Corey says, I'll talk to you later. All right, brother. Yeah, shoot me a DM or whatever. I mean, it's no big deal. So let me look what Corey said. Corey said, that's an ugly ass officer. He loves you, Steve.
You know what? That officer's probably dead. That's right.
So I don't want to keep you guys waiting for the first part of tonight's title, and that is we have a house that exploded This was in New Jersey on January the 14th. Pompton Lakes Police body cam captures the exact moment when an explosion occurred as officers began fleeing to safety and neighbors watched in horror. Authorities said 6 firefighters, all volunteers, sustained minor injuries from the blast. So we're going to put that on the screen here and we'll take a look at it. This one is coming from Law and Crime Network YouTube channel. Really good YouTube channel, by the way. And make sure when y'all watch videos at places, make sure y'all hit the like button on their channel and stuff. You know, folks work hard to put out content. Give them a little love when you can. All right, I am going to. We're not going to miss anything by keeping us on the screen there, so I'm just going to play this out. Now it is kind of loud. But it's necessary that we see and hear what's going on. It's a weird scene. I've watched this video several times. It's a hell of a thing. Hey, Eric Boyce, what's going on? You made it to Ohio. All right, brother. Well, we're thinking about you and your family over there. Sorry for y'all's loss, man. Here we go. House explode.
I'd like to know why the fire department is going in the house in the first place.
Say what?
I'd like to know why the fire department's going in the house in the first place.
Well, they have charged hoses, so they must have been in there putting out some type of a fire. And then there's an actual explosion that occurs. It does say on the video clip here.
It's got to be a gas explosion, then, right?
The cause of the fire has not yet been determined, is what they've got there. But yeah, it pretty much explodes like a gas.
Yeah.
A glass.
It takes off about half the house.
Yep. It's god awful. Hey, what's up, Southpaw? Good to see you. You're just in time to watch a house blow up.
And he's like, the CR alarm's going off. What's the alarm? I just came through. Like I told Greco when I came through, my headlights were shooting this way, and it was all smoke. And I was like, oh. So I was coming up, I was like, is that fucking foggy down there? Right over there?
So look at this house.
Yeah,
there ain't much of it left.
No. I'm gonna back this up. Let's watch this. Let's watch this explosion in slow speed. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. Not quality. I want playback speed. It's a huge ass fireball.
Yeah.
It looks like a gas fire.
Yeah.
A gas explosion, rather. Holy shit!
Yeah.
You could see the house lift up.
It lifted up off its foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when he goes, he's fixing to go around to the front of it, and it lifted the whole damn roof off and everything. Blew the side of the house out.
I'm going to turn it back to normal speed. But yeah, man, it blew this damn thing up. Jamie said you can see a little fireball by the front door right before it blows up. Yeah, I thought when I first watched it, I thought maybe it was a flash, like a flashover. But a flashover would have just came mainly out of that main door, the main front door where they were at. This was an explosion. This was
the whole front, the first floor off the foundation.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It run the whole. Foundation.
Now, was there anybody in the house?
I think they were already out at that time because it looked like they'd already been in there putting out some type of a fire. They had multiple hoses in there already.
Wow.
Hey, Keeson, what's going on? How's the weather and stuff over there in Hawaii? Thank you for joining us. Jorge Zambrano's here. What's going on? So we'll see some other angles of the house here in just a second. I am going to turn the volume down just a little bit, but look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much obliterated that whole thing. There is no more structure left to that house, really.
That thing's done.
Yep, it came off the foundation.
Yeah. Dang windows is out here in the grass by the fire hose. The blinds.
Yep.
And what gets me is that the fire is everywhere else. I think it ends up being like what?
There goes the Mayday alarms. Yeah, they got there. So I'm surprised with that they only suffered minor injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was big.
Look at that place. It's done. There ain't nothing left of it.
Yeah.
Probably the main reason why there were only minor injuries, of course, was because they were wearing their PPE, but also because it looks like the majority of it blew itself out.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Power lines are down.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So I think, and somebody watching over there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking the reason for sounding the horns like that is to give a location for where these firefighters need to try to get to. They're trying to figure out how many firefighters were in there, who's in there. Let's get them out. So that's like I think it's like a Mayday meeting point when they sound that truck horn like that, but I'm not 100% positive. Brandon Loveman, what's going on?
I wonder if it damaged the house next door.
Oh, okay. Jamie said three horns is an alert to get out of the house. So the 3 horns is an alert to get out of the house is what that is. They've sounded that twice.
Yeah.
Your best approach is from the back. Watch these wires.
Hey, Megan D. Gaming, what's up? Welcome to the stream.
Headquarters, get us some more rings here. Get medics here also.
Now, I know here in the Huntsville area, when there's a fire scene, they don't immediately always send paramedics. They will send them fairly often, but apparently there's no medics on scene. They're asking for paramedics. A lot of times here in Huntsville, you'll see they'll call it a full assignment, which is going to include pretty much almost an entire station of available vehicles and usually at least one ambulance to be sent out. Now, in a situation like this, there may have been one on scene at first. They thought they had the fire out. I mean, I didn't see any flames or smoke before the explosion. So whatever they were there for, it looks like they'd already handled. And then boom, Yeah, that makes sense. Jamie said that it's to tell everybody to get out of the house, grab the attention of other firefighters around, and for example, if the roof or walls looks like they may collapse, they'll do that for an evacuation order for the firemen. But can you imagine how chaotic this scene had to be at this moment?
That's crazy.
And see, they're checking them now as they come out. Now this is another officer's body cam angle before the explosion. Let me slow this one down again. This is a little bit different angle because it was a different officer. So I'm going to slow this one down also. Hey, Tyler Rocks, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
I think that guy opens that door and it goes
What's
off.
up, Hoffman?
That's possible.
I think that door opened and it fed that flame that went off.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I see a firefighter walking in the back door when that place
It goes
explodes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Not coming out.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah,
how you doing, bud?
I see one right there. But there's a little smoke in the air, so there had been something there.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Holy shit. Wow.
You can see it lift off the foundation good on that one.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
That was totally nuts. Hey, look who we got.
What's up?
Hey.
What's
Hey,
up?
Stacey, how you doing, buddy?
It's going. So I was watching that just now. Like that looked like a oxygen tank went or something. Did they say what it was?
This video said that it's still under investigation.
Yeah, just from the way it blew up, it looked like it was like an oxygen tank that was in storage or something. Like
Man, an oxygen tank ain't gonna do that kind of damage. That looks like a gas explosion.
I did poke around and I couldn't find any more information on this specific event or
This was in New Jersey, you said? It said?
Yeah, it was in New Jersey. I found some other fire stuff in New Jersey.
Pompton Lakes.
Pompton Lakes.
Where the hell is that at?
Yeah, Pompton Lakes. A propane tank, Jamie said, could have been in the house too.
Yeah.
John Daynard, what's going on? Good to see you. Chris Tarbert, welcome. There's P. Hoffman Gaming. What is going on?
Pompton Lakes.
Hope you had a good birthday this week.
It's right across the state line.
For me?
From New York.
That's all the way up north then.
Yeah.
So let's see. I had some other stuff that was submitted. I want to see if I can. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this. So I couldn't find any video for this one. Let me make sure that they haven't added video. No, they haven't added any video yet. Okay. So here's a story that comes. This is from March the 2nd. This is out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
It's 40 minutes away from me.
A young boy was left hanging by his neck at an outdoor amusement center in Pennsylvania over the weekend after becoming entangled in a rope ladder.
Oh, shit.
The West Vincent Township Police Department confirmed the incident earlier this week on Facebook. Officials said the 8-year-old was visiting Thrills Park in King of Prussia on Saturday when his head slipped through part of the rope obstacle and he became stuck. Entangled in the rope and hanging by his neck, he became unresponsive and was not breathing. Fortunately, an off-duty member of the police department was also at the park and jumped in to help, along with another off-duty officer and an off-duty nurse. The three worked to untangle the boy and get him breathing again. Thanks to their heroic life-saving actions, the boy regained consciousness as paramedics arrived, and the 8-year-old was transported to the hospital and released later that day.
Well, thank God they were there.
Yep. We are told by police that the boy is okay and the injury is not serious. Our thoughts are with the family and we'll be contacting them soon. So, a lot of what we look at on here is has some negative, it's real easy to find negative shit about law enforcement, right? And so a lot of what we look at is kind of dissecting some of that, where either somebody's complained or it's gotten in the news or whatever. And it's not to try to make law enforcement officers look bad. That's just what's in the news. We're talking about it. We're giving our thought process on it, right? But when I see something like this pop up, the thing that gets me here is all of these people were off duty. None of them were working. They were there enjoying time with their family as well. And I mean, let's be honest, this is America, and a lot of people are, what's the word for it? Self-centered, right? We focus on what we want, what we're doing, I'm at the park having fun with my family. I don't want to do any work. Let somebody else tend to that poor kid over there, but these folks jump right into action. 2 off-duty police officers and an off-duty nurse, and basically saved that child's life. Thank God. Dustin K, what's up? Good to see you. Jake Clark, welcome to the stream. All right, sleep well there, Brooklyn. Catch you later. Now I want to get to the Murdoch case. Have any of y'all kept up with that? All of you kind of.
Yeah. So when I was down in Georgia, that was the day that I don't know what you call them. I guess the coroners that do the autopsies. That was the day they testified when I was down in Georgia. Yeah, the medical examiners. Yeah. And I kept up with it that day. I read up on because I was kind of out of the loop, but I read up today, and it definitely transpired into something, because not to bury the lead here, but like it's crazy how like it just went to like unanimous, like.
Well, it started out, I think there were 2 that were leaning towards not guilty.
Yeah.
And 1 that was totally undecided. But they started going back over some stuff, and they all finally agreed on it. So there's some body cam footage that was released a couple of weeks ago of the night of the murders. Right now, this is a long video, so I'm gonna have to clip this up a little bit.
I got a confession. I don't know anything about this at all. I haven't been paying attention to it at all.
Okay, so
what is it about?
Long story short, guy who comes from a long line of successful attorneys who has money and has his own financial stuff, which I don't want to go into all that, but he has his own financial stuff going on. Since he's been convicted, I guess I don't have to say allegedly. He killed his wife and son. And what you're about to see is him playing it off like it wasn't him.
Yeah. So, and then, there's a documentary on Netflix that I suggest y'all watch if you haven't watched it yet, that talks about, there's like 5 bodies attached to this family. There's the wife and son that were, the most recent deaths. There is
the old housekeeper.
The old housekeeper somehow tripped over the dogs and died. And the Murdochs happened to have a life insurance policy that covered, it was like some type of a business related, because they had a ranch there. It was some type of business related insurance policy. They got $3.5 million when this lady died, and they gave nothing to the family.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they gave nothing to the family. And then there was a girlfriend of, so the son that got killed, his name was Paul. He was driving a boat one night. They were all drunk. They'd been out partying at some kind of oyster roast or whatever. And they were coming back in a boat. He was wasted as all get out. And they ended up, the boat wrecked into a pylon of a bridge, and Paul's best friend's girlfriend was thrown from the boat, and they didn't find her for like a week or more later. It might have been as long as 2 weeks. But they course, she was dead, and the Murdochs were trying to put a spin on it that the girl's boyfriend was driving the boat. So they were trying to blame the girl's boyfriend instead of Paul for wrecking the boat. And then before that, there was an incident where there was a guy found dead in the middle of the street, in the middle of a road. And after investigation, they couldn't find any definitive evidence, but they kept getting these rumors and these people telling law enforcement that supposedly it was Paul's brother had some kind of sexual relationship with this guy, and they think maybe he was going to out him as being gay or whatever, and they ended up killing him. But they never were able to prove that. So all these deaths surrounding this one family, you know, it was pretty big. Yeah, there it is. Michael Tingley just posted it for you. It's Murdoch Murders, and it's spelled Murdaugh, but everybody on that on the documentary was referring to him as Murdoch.
Why don't I see his comment in the chat?
All the videos I've seen, they've said Murdoch. It should be the last comment right for Southpaw.
No, I'm not talking about it in StreamYard. I'm talking about on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's taking a little bit of time there.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Wizard, what's going on? He is extremely, immensely exhausted. But Lord, I hope you get you some rest there, brother. But yeah, that's it. It is Murdoch Murders Southern Scandal, and it's a good one to look at. I do suggest taking it.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I had never heard of this. First time I heard the name Murdaugh was the other day when I was sitting at the restaurant and it came up on the news. You know, he was sentenced to whatever.
Oh, change your comments. There's a drop down up there on YouTube. Change it from top to live feed.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah. But it's good. I would definitely suggest looking at it. So now this is let's pull this up. This is the video. This is when the cops first walk up on him. Now, to give you some context, he calls 911 freaking out. Said that he came home and found his son and his wife shot and killed. The son was shot with a shotgun. Shotguns are extremely hard to do ballistics testing on, unless if you find a shell, you can match up the firing pin sometimes. But as far as like, you know, there's no bullet to match up, you know, rifling to. It's a lot more difficult on a firearm like that. But the wife was shot with an AR-15 style rifle that was using Blackout 300 rounds, and they happen to have all of those types of weapons here. And there was a whole lot of stink about, you know, he wasn't turning over the weapons when they asked, and somebody thinks that they saw him leaving with some weapons one night, you know, like maybe they were going to hide them. I mean, it was a lot in here. Well, let's look at his reaction when the cops first talked to him.
What's up? Most of them scene is secure. Got a Whiskey Fox, Whiskey Mike, both gunshot wounds to the head.
I want to let you know, because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
And son.
Okay.
It's bad.
Yes, sir. This is the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went and this is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
You know.
So you see him setting it up, right? My son's been getting death threats since the boating accident. So he's setting up Now I'm wondering about this firearm that he says he went and got from his house because of what he walked up on, right? I'm wondering if one of them had that weapon, like maybe the son originally had that weapon or something. I mean, the truth is he didn't say what happened during the shooting. He still claims he didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Southpaw.
this is just after the murder, Southpaw. It sure is. Hey, Joe Boyd, what's going on? Good to see you. Look at that. See, your phone's listening to you, Southpaw. He said he just turned on Netflix. The very first promo that showed up was the Murdoch murders. They be listening to you.
No,
They're always
he's been
listening.
getting punched. I know that's somebody. I know that's what it is.
Okay. When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first. My mom has late stages Alzheimer's, and my dad is in the hospital.
Okay.
I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on my phone and tell you the exact times. Did you check?
Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are that's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already, he's one of the battalion chiefs. Okay.
So this doesn't start with the 911 call, but I've heard the 911 call. The 911 call, he already knows they're dead. He pretty much says that on the 911 call. They're not breathing, you know. But now he's like, you know, have they checked them? Can they hurry up? You know, have you checked them? And everybody
does it.
Well, everybody reacts different, right?
I think we're going in the same direction here.
Yeah, everybody can react differently to scene, you know, to situations, to stress and things like that. But if I had just seen my wife and son dead, I would be an emotional wreck right now.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing. And I think he probably did this because he's trying to cover his ass. Any lawyer will tell you when there is a shooting incident, right? He's the only one there. He is automatically going to be investigated because he was the one on scene. Any lawyer would tell you you give very little information until you have your own lawyer present. You don't refuse to cooperate. You just tell them, look, you know, my mind's a blur right now. I want to sit down and explain to you what I can, but let me, you know, get my wits about me and get my lawyer. I want a lawyer and we'll talk. But this man, he thinks he's so smart. He's setting this shit up.
How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house and they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call,
Okay.
and then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so that is loaded.
Okay.
That officer's putting himself between that weapon and him, though. He ain't dumb. He ain't fucking dumb.
Is this the only firearm with you? This is the only one, or is there any more in the truck?
Go through sled training.
I believe that's it.
You think that's the only one?
I'm 99%.
Do you normally have any other firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but occasionally there.
Now, as you can tell, the audio is slightly off on this. It's not perfect.
You don't look like he's all that, you know.
Yeah,
stressed.
exactly. And not to go too far off of what you said, but on Onyx. But I'll tell you what, man. That you talk about how the officer put himself between him and the weapon. He's not dumb. I've never gone through sled training, but I've been through it to a couple classes. Sled is they're good, and they train everyone the same. Sled is good with their training.
And see, I'm not sure if this is local law enforcement. I imagine this is probably like the sheriff's department because this is outside the city limits where the ranch is.
Yeah, it's outside of Beaufort.
But
Beaufort, or however you say it.
But I think, but you're saying that SLED does the law enforcement training academy.
SLED does all law enforcement training, up into a little bit of state, which they have to do some kind of national. I don't know how that works, but
yeah. Hey, there's Help Police in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Joe Boyd's watching on Facebook as well. Good to see you, brother. For those of you that don't know, We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at the same time. You just can't comment on Twitter. I love this. So I was like, this motherfucker lying.
There you go.
I mean, well, he was convicted. He was found guilty. He was sentenced to two terms of life in prison.
Yeah. And in South Carolina, life in prison means till you're pine coffin. You don't get like life and eligible in 20.
Yeah.
That ain't how it works.
This is life without parole that he got.
Yep.
Sucks to be him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait right.
Of course, he put gloves on because he don't want his
Here,
fingerprints
for a
on that
second, okay?
weapon. But yeah, those blanked out spots, that's where the bodies are.
Yeah.
So what? They're outside. I thought he said they were in the house.
No, this is out at their ranch.
They're by the dog kennels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His son was real big into hunting, and so they had tons of dog kennels.
Some real expensive dogs. But they this was smart.
I want to know what the reason was for him to kill his family if he did do it.
All right, so this is Richland County. Is this Richland County Sheriff's Department?
It shouldn't be. Richland County is freaking Columbia.
Because this looked like the Richland County cars.
Really?
Maybe they just got the same.
Yeah,
They may have the same sticker package.
they may have the same. 'cause
I've seen them on live PD so many times. Those look familiar. Corey said he don't think he did it. That's an interesting thought process, Corey, and I can see where you're coming from, and I got something to add on that here in a little bit.
Where are you now? All right. Yeah, the police are here now. The police are here now.
Well, and like to listen to the coroner
That's my
give his
brother.
testimony about how gruesome the shots were and their bodies were. Like,
Yeah.
When was the
I
last
don't know
time you
how
were
he's
here
standing
with them
there looking at it.
or talking
Yeah,
to them or anything like that?
they also said that the way from where they were shot, it was like they were looking at their shooter.
It was earlier tonight.
So, like, they weren't in
I
fear of
don't
their
know the
shooter.
exact time, but
Right.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul? Okay.
Somebody going to check them?
Yes, sir. They've already checked them.
They did check them?
Yes, sir.
It's official that they're dead?
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
His brains are out of his head.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
His body typically don't function without brains.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. Gotta call her parents.
Yeah, this body language, this line of
guarded.
speech, yeah, he's very guarded. Now he's told this officer that he was not there when this happened, that he hadn't been there for an hour and a half. Well, said that he's been gone for at least an hour and a half, and he didn't see them for 45 minutes before that. So we're looking at over 2 hours before he says he found them, that he said he wasn't in the area, right? So when in one of the discussions they had, and this is where the juror said this is what convicted him, was him saying that he wasn't there. But there's cell phone video that was recorded out here, not long before they were killed, on Paul's cell phone, and you can hear
his son had a
talking.
His son had a
Snapchat
Snapchat video of him there talking.
Yeah. And so there you can hear his voice on there, and the jury said that's what finally swayed everybody to convict him, was that they heard his voice, they knew he was lying, that they knew he had been there way sooner than what he said. And with the timeline, his story doesn't fit. And that's what ultimately I think got him convicted. But Corey has a point here that I want to dive into. Corey was watching this case every day and says he doesn't know who did it, but Corey doesn't think that Alex killed these two. Corey, I wish you could come on the panel and actually explain where you're coming from with it. But I'll play devil's advocate here, right? Because I watched a lot of it. I didn't watch it every day, but I did try to go back and I tried to watch some testimony and things like that because I was interested in it. And watching some of the court cases, what made me, when I saw that there was a thing on Netflix about the family, I wanted to watch that. So that's how I ended up finding it. But here's my way of thinking. I think he's guilty. I think it's very possible that, well, let's put it this way. I think it's highly possible that he did it. However, I do not think that the state proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I think his conviction is invalid. And I mean, I hate to say that. I hate for a murderer to get away, and I feel like he probably did it. However, there is zero physical evidence tying him to these murders. Zero. It's all circumstantial, right? He lied about being there earlier. Well, if you didn't want to put yourself in the suspect spotlight, you wouldn't want to say, oh, yeah, I was there 10 minutes before this. Well, because then the thought process is going to be, well, did you hear the gunshots? Who did you see? Where did they come from? That opens up a whole lot of other questions that I think as a lawyer he was trying to avoid. But I don't think that the burden of proof that's put on the state to prove somebody guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, I really don't think they did. I think they painted him like Corey said. Corey's got a good point here. Let me put this up. Corey says, I think they proved he's a liar, and that's what they proved in the case from him stealing money, his drug use, but I don't think they proved or had evidence of him doing the murder. There was zero physical evidence as far as anything that I've been able to find.
Didn't the shotgun shells match up to the shotgun shells he had in the house?
I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I don't remember seeing that, but you can match a firing pin location and shape to a shotgun. You just can't.
I don't know
match
if they
rifle.
did that, but I think they matched the.
Well, I can tell you that this blackout 300 ammo and AR-15 rifles, they had both of those in the house. They had multiple shotguns in the house. But here's the thing. Small town area, ammo is going to be the same at a lot of houses. That's
we've had a limited access to ammo lately too, so they could create reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I think he made a crucial error here in that he got on the stand and testified.
Yeah, he did. He screwed him.
Yeah. I can't believe him being a lawyer. I can't believe that he thought that was a good idea. Yeah, I can't believe he thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So, Stacey, you watched a lot of it.
Yeah, I remember that's actually where I got what I said earlier. The medical examiners, they were saying that that upon searching the bodies, I'm trying to remember because I was trying to find the medical examiner's reports today and I couldn't find them. But they were saying that like
I know it's been released, but I had problems finding it.
Yeah. They were just saying that like as far as what the contents of the stomachs, like no one had been drugged or any of that because they were talking about his drug use and stuff like that, and maybe he drugged him and then took him out there and shot him because which I guess they disproved that. And then, but the thing that stuck out to me was when they said, and again, I'm not just shooting down anyone saying that he didn't do it, but it was when they said that the way that they were laying and the way that they were shot and like where they were shot, they were both looking at their shooter. Like they were not in fear. They weren't running.
Right.
They were shot and they fell. So, and I mean, even if it wasn't him, it was someone they knew.
And I mean, from everything I've read and looked at and the testimony that I looked at, I feel like he probably did it. However, when somebody's life is on the line for going to prison or possible death penalty, probably ain't good enough, in my opinion. And we have this reasonable doubt thing in our judicial system for a reason, because sometimes you can't prove who did something.
Right.
But if you can't prove they did it, then there's that reasonable doubt. Maybe they didn't. But now there's things that haven't been put out to the public. There's things we haven't seen. There's photos that we may not have seen, different things like that. And for the jury, to go in and they've pretty much got him convicted. 9 of the jurors are ready to convict him. You got 2 that are not sure, and 1, 2 that think he might be not guilty, and 1 that is totally unsure. They saw a lot of stuff.
They went through a lot of alternates in this case too. In the jury.
Yeah, they had to release some. So
the day that I was watching, that was the day that I think 6 of them had to be replaced because they got COVID. Yeah. And they, the judge even asked, do I need to ask the crowd, do I need to ask them to leave? It was that day.
Yeah.
So Steve, I know you said you really hadn't had a chance here with all the stuff going on with you to keep up with this case and everything, but from what you're seeing in this, in this body cam footage here, what's your feel on this guy?
I don't know. If I came home and I found my family dead in my outside, I probably wouldn't be as calm as this guy appears to be. Then again, I have been known to keep my wits about me over some pretty extreme stuff in the past. But I mean, it always comes back later on that day when no one else is around, But when I'm seeing it, I don't know. It's kind of a clouded picture. I don't know what to make of it. So without seeing the full picture of things, I mean, I know there's areas that's blurred out and you can't see certain things, and it's like, well,
Stacey, have you seen any kind of diagram out there? Because I was looking for one and couldn't find one, but
I couldn't find one either.
Kind of diagram on how they were laid out.
I couldn't even find a diagram of usually you can look and they'll show you like a stick figure, like how they were laying. Yeah. They haven't even released that. South Carolina's got a bad habit of releasing just enough to keep you informed.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure how they were laying, but I feel like they were fairly close together from what I gathered.
Where's this located?
Okay, so I believe it was his wife that was in front of the pen, and then his son that was laying over in front of the awning or the gazebo, whatever you want to call it.
Let me pull this back up.
Yep.
So you're talking about.
I just don't know how he has stood there that long and stared at it. You know what I mean?
So when they pull up,
I'm trying to get So hold on.
Yeah, so you see that barn right there on the behind the I don't know if that's behind the truck or shed.
All right, so
yeah. So I believe his wife his son is laying right there to his right. If that's where they entered.
Right over in here.
Yeah, if that's where they entered from.
And then there's a walkway right here, right?
Yeah, and the kennels are directly across from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a kennel right here. So so there you go. Yeah. So there's son, the wife.
I think that's the son, and the wife is over there.
And then the wife is over there. Yeah. So they're close. Now, Corey has a fairly good point. And it does shed, in my mind, it does actually cast a little doubt on this thing. There's 2 different guns used. Right?
That's true.
two different guns used. Who's going to stand there and watch a person that killed your mom or son and just stand there and let them kill you too? Now, with them being a little bit of distance apart, it could be that maybe he didn't realize the son was there. Because here's what I'm thinking. If, and of course, this is all conjecture, right? I don't know. But there's a lot of information that was out there about the fact that the wife found out that there was some money missing, that she had hired a forensic accountant to go through their financials, and that she had contacted a divorce attorney. So there could have been some fallout between the husband and the wife. He could have shot her, right? Put the gun in the truck. The son came running up later, and he shot him. He grabbed another gun and shot him. I mean, that in my mind is plausible and makes sense. That one was shot, the other one heard it and came to see what was going on, and then that's how we ended up with two weapons and two different shootings without anybody running away. But that's hard to prove, and there's still reasonable doubt there. Michael Tinkley said the son's at the kennels and the wife was running.
Okay, is that what it is? Okay. Because I thought they said the son was wearing a blue shirt. I don't remember exactly what they said. Who was?
It's a rain jacket, is what it is. I'm seeing it here.
Okay.
It's a blue rain jacket, and it's all I'm seeing so far.
So, I mean, it makes sense that one would get shot, the other one come running up, and then them get shot too. That can explain the two different weapons.
Corey's got another good point too. Shock could have kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What county was it? What was that county?
That county is called
Colleton County.
Yeah.
Colleton County.
Yep.
So, I mean, I looked at a lot of this. There's not. It's like you say, Stacey. There's just enough out there to kind of make you feel like they gave you something, but not quite enough for you to really know anything.
Yeah.
Because
it's one of those trials where they wouldn't allow any cameras in the courtroom and they wouldn't allow any coverage or anything like that. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, they had
cameras in the courtroom the whole time.
They were?
Yeah.
That's how the wife's picture got released, is they left it up on the monitor too long and somebody got a shot of it.
Oh, like the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, because you remember the judge during sentencing referenced that.
And I mean, and I feel like it's highly probable he did it. I just don't think the state was able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
So my thought is that if he didn't do it, he knows who did, or he was a part of it, or there was two people.
More than one person. That would explain two. That would explain two guns.
I was kind of wondering if Bo had something to do with it. The oldest son too.
The other son.
Yeah.
I mean, that's highly possible. What's up, Rye Wilson? Welcome to the stream.
I know people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars and they love their money.
Yeah.
Apparently this guy had millions.
Yeah, millions.
Yeah, he was pretty loaded.
Well, I mean, just from the housekeeper's death, it was $3.5 million. Insurance payment.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That house there is not their primary residence, is it? Wasn't that like a second house?
I'm not sure. Well, no, I think they lived nearby there. I think this was, but they had like dog kennels and they had it was like some kind of a ranch thing or something.
Yeah, I do know that immediately after the trial they tried to file for a why am I getting phone calls? They tried to file for a wrongful trial. I forget what the terminology was. And it was
a mistrial.
Mistrial, yeah. And it was immediately denied.
Oh, he's going to appeal this. I mean, you can definitely say that he's going to appeal it. Will says he could be covering up for a family member or a close friend. See, now here's the thing.
That's why I thought about his son.
Yeah,
because they said in that documentary, they said that the oldest son and the dad were really close.
Well, but the oldest
dad ain't covering for him.
The oldest son did come out and make a statement condemning his father for this. So I feel like, his if the dad was covering for him, and then his son comes out and says, I'm shocked and appalled that my dad would do something like this. Why did he not offer an alternative version of the crime and try to pin it on his son at that point? You know what I'm saying? I mean, fuck, he's been shady about everything else. I don't know.
Well, I think the dad was pretty arrogant. I think he thought he could beat the charge.
Well, and being well known, and they've gotten their family out of a lot of trouble before. Yeah. And then he ain't even. That's a good point there, Michael. He ain't even had any of the trials for any of the financial crimes yet. He's still facing.
Yeah, that ain't started.
Yeah, he's still facing that. But in this,
there's a guy over here that's wanting to talk to him.
Don't even know who Eric is. I know an Alex over there.
Alex.
Okay. There's a guy over here that wants to talk to him.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you wanted me to tell him that or if you wanted me to.
Oh, somebody's there wanting to talk to him. I wonder if they caught that on video.
He does not need to walk over there.
No.
He does not need to go over there.
You can stay there.
He can.
There's another video. Let me see if I can find it of him in. Oh, where did I save that at? There's a video of him in the patrol car being interviewed. Let me find it. Let's pull that up. I want you to see this. This is from NBC News. No, that's not the one I want. Let's see, body cam footage. This one was taken from inside of a patrol car. Here we go. I think this might be it. Okay, yep, this is it. All right. So this is from Law and Crime Network.
Okay. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah. I remember a little bit about this. Yeah.
So this was taken inside of a patrol car, and he's being interviewed here, and at the scene. They've got multiple investigators here, and they're talking to him about it. I'm guessing that the audio will come on here in just a second.
I want to say several times, if I remember correctly, like they don't mention it, but I want to say several times he looks up at the camera.
Well, he just looked up at it just a second ago, too. Yeah, he knows it's being recorded. He ain't dumb.
All right, Mr. Murdoch.
Say his father was one of the judges.
Say what now?
Wasn't his father one of the county judges?
Yeah, man, they've been.
His grandfather and great grandfather were as well.
Yeah, this is like fourth generation.
The judge made a reference that to keep people from being biased, that they had to take down his grandfather's picture out of the courtroom.
Yeah,
because his grandfather. Yeah.
And they had to take his dads and grandfathers out of the hallway or something.
Well, they basically were the law. I mean, they were very well known, very well respected family, lots of money on all these boards and commissions, and judges, DAs. I mean, they basically ruled that place over there. The son that was killed, his name was Paul, and the other one's name was Robert. Am I right? The older son was named Robert.
Yeah. The older son was Robert, and the one that died was Paul.
Yeah.
Richard Alexander Murdoch. And spell your last name so I get it correct. Murdaughh. All right. And you go by Alec? Yes, sir. And date of birth, Mr. Murdoch? May 27th, 1968. And a good phone number for you. 803-942-1227.
I wonder if that phone's still on.
And sir.
All right, let me pause this for a second. So here is. Can I full screen this some kind of way? No, not really. Here is the autopsy report. Thank you, Wiz. Wiz just sent this in. Let's see. Shotgun wounds of chest and head. Damn. Is what it lists here. Now this is just the abstract. It's not like the full like
the detail.
All on breakdown, yeah. But trying to see Beaufort, South Carolina, People's Road and Funeral Home, who came to attend the body.
If you control plus, it'll blow that sucker up.
Yeah, it's just gonna get distorted a little bit, I think.
It's not too bad. I can still read it.
Yeah, I can read it better now than I did before.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see. Pronounced dead on is that June the 7th, or is this written? Yeah, June the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
He's been gone for a while.
It is listed as a homicide.
Yeah.
Place of injury is a residence. And let's see, it was Richard Harvey was the coroner that completed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not cute puppy, but that ain't quite what we're looking for. But I saw next. I was like, maybe they have another page to it. But
dog wants to know what we're doing.
What was the mother's name, Stacy? Oh, you're muted.
If you wouldn't ask me, I could have told you. I was reading up on this today, and I for some reason forget.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on it too. Maggie Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
But Margaret. But yeah,
Margaret would probably be how it's listed on the.
I think. Let me double check. I don't want to sound like it's the South, so.
Yeah, that's true, Corey.
Yeah,
Corey said with him and his family well known and being judges and attorneys, they also become hated. There were a lot of people there that were jealous of this family too. So, I mean, it's plausible in my mind that somebody else did this. But it's also plausible that he did it. I just don't think the state proved it beyond a reasonable doubt, in my opinion. I really...
Well, I think what made him the target was his actions when they showed up.
Yeah.
Like how he was acting.
Well,
everybody acts different, but there's just certain things that you look for when you show up to a murder scene.
I mean, his body language and stuff. I would have pinned this on him as an investigator.
Yeah, because he guarded himself the whole time when they started asking any questions. He threw that guard up, and it really seemed pretty pretend the way he was acting, upset and stuff.
It did. It did.
It seemed put on. Because there's genuine reaction to a loss, like you have a genuine reaction no matter.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he was bullshitting, but at the same time, I feel like the state has to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Am I wrong?
Supposed to be, but that's really not how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I never until God. I'm gonna sound like some kind of like biblical figure here, but until judgment is passed down, I don't ever say like this person did it or that person did it.
Yeah, I mean he was convicted, by a jury, and he is going to prison, but
that was one of the fastest returns on a verdict I've ever seen.
It was 3
like
hours.
45 minutes.
I promise you. So they were gone for 3 hours, and I promise you, an hour and a half of that was them eating.
Yeah,
probably.
Yep. And writing out the stuff on the paperwork.
Yeah.
All right, now he's gonna have any of y'all seen this video yet?
Yeah. Where it's like almost like God, it sounds like
watch this
pandering, but it's like he forces himself to break down.
Yeah, watch this. This is almost like some bad acting. This is like watching something on the BBC. I'm just kidding. There's some good shows on the BBC.
Oh, British Broadcasting Channel. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, not that way. Not that way, Stacey.
What was your name? Yes, Danny Henderson. Okay.
Look at that look on his face. As
I stated, I'm David Owen in Lower Rutland, Colleton County, and I'm with SLED. I hate to have to do this.
I understand. I totally understand. Yeah. So you don't have any problem with it.
So just start at the top. Take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see him, and I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was.
All right, there's that empathy law enforcement is showing to try to gain that trust. But he may have very well known some of these people because he was that well known. But yeah, he's going to have a good breakdown here.
Sorry. And I could see his brain on his. And I ran over to Maggie, and actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first. I tried to turn him over, and I don't know. I figured it out. His cell phone popped out of his pocket. I started to try to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it back down really quickly. Then I went to my wife, and I could see.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both.
Okay.
I tried to take. I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them. And I called 911 pretty much right away, and she was very good.
He's complimenting the 911 operator. Oh man.
I talked to her. I told her I was going to get off the phone to call some family members. I did that.
What family members did you call?
I called my brother Randy, and I called my brother John. And I tried to call a little boy, real good friend that's right around the corner from here, but I didn't get him.
What all was around Paul when you walked up?
Blood.
Anything else?
I mean, there were some body things. Yes, sir.
I mean, like any other evidence. I know you said the phone fell out the pocket, but did you see anything else that didn't belong or shouldn't belong or that wasn't part of Paul?
No, sir. Not.
All right. Did you see that look on his face?
Go back.
Watch this look on his face when that question's asked.
Things. Yes, sir.
I mean, like any other evidence. I know you said the phone fell out the pocket, but did you see anything else that didn't belong or shouldn't belong or that wasn't part of Paul?
No, sir. Not. No, sir.
How about Maggie?
No, sir.
He's sitting there thinking right now, fuck, what do they know?
Look at his eyes, they're cut.
Like I said,
his eyes are looking off.
It's almost like
He's trying
he
to do
doesn't want to look to the left because he doesn't want to look at the camera.
Right.
Like
Well,
if I know there's a camera, like even here, like I'll occasionally look over. Like you just want to look at the camera, like
Yeah.
He's
trying to avoid it.
Yep. He's trying to remember his story right there.
I'm not sure, Southpaw, if they thought he did it here or not. Southpaw had asked if at this point do they think he did it. He was the only person on the scene, right? They have to talk to him. They have to consider him a suspect. From his body language, his darty eyes, different things like that, his general overall behavior, I would have pegged him as a suspect from the word jump.
It's in the initial he broke down when he was talking about his son and his wife, but then he just gave like gory details about his son and had no emotion about doing it. So that to me is like a tell, because like if you're trying to recall that, no matter what state of mind you're in, it's still painful. And you're still going to have an expression, whether it be can't talk, crying, snotting.
Yeah. And I mean, I've broken down before, and like I said, everyone's different. I've broken down before, but like, there's a different inflection in your voice after you're done crying. There's a different inflection, whether it's nasally or you get the phlegm in your throat or something. And it's like I don't. And again, everyone's different, but I don't see a single tear on his face. His eyes aren't even, maybe it's the camera. I'm giving benefit of doubt here. His eyes aren't even watered. Like,
and it's hot. You can tell the officers.
It's June in South Carolina. Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Nervous.
Beaufort is right on the water. Like there's water everywhere there.
Hot and humid.
Yeah.
Southpaw says it's not the cops' first rodeo. I would think they would know when someone's lying or not. They probably have already pegged him. I don't know that there was any testimony to that fact that they considered him a suspect from the word go.
So but I'm wondering if that's why this officer in the back, this detective in the back with the plaid shirt, why he looked up at the camera. He looked up at the camera about 40 seconds before you paused it. Like, because when he was describing what he saw, he looked up at the camera. Yeah, like it was right above this.
Yes, sir.
I mean, like any other evidence. I know you said the phone fell out the pocket, but
you thinking right up in here?
It's a little bit.
He talks about the brain.
It was a little bit before that. Like, yeah.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I figured it out.
It was long after this, but.
I went to. My mom's a late stage Alzheimer's patient. My dad's in the hospital.
I just know at one point that guy in the back, he right there, or I think that was it. Yeah, you can see him. He like peeks over and looks up at the camera.
Paul, when you walked up,
blood,
almost like a bookmark.
Anything else?
Right there.
I mean, there were some body things. Yes, sir.
I mean, like any other evidence. I know you said the phone fell out the pocket, but did you see anything else?
Oh yeah. Now there's another part in here. All right, here we go.
Rogan, Gibson.
He has been kind of doing some throat clearing and some coughing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Have you talked with any of these guys tonight?
Talked with Nolan, yes, sir.
Is he out here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I tried to call Rogan, was one of the people he's the boy that I told you lives around the corner.
Okay.
That's very, he's just a good, helpful young man. You mind if I open the door really quickly?
Go right ahead. Do what you need to do. So is there anybody that you can think of that we need to talk to tonight? Is there a name that comes to mind?
I mean, I can't tell you anybody that I'm overly suspicious of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to plan a double murder at your house,
you better find someone to blame.
Go ahead and have the blame ready. He alluded to the fact that his son Paul had gotten some death threats after the boating accident. But he said most of it was benign, not really going to amount to nothing. But I'm also Wiz actually just mentioned it too. I'm caught up on something else too that kind of bothers me a little bit. He called a lot of motherfucking people on that phone.
Yeah, waiting
that
on him
night.
to get there.
Yeah.
He's like, he tells the 911 operator, I'm gonna get off the phone with you because I got to call some family members. He's trying to call.
Yeah.
He called at least 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just I guess if he's looking for, some verbal comfort or something like that, as, witnessing something traumatic or whatever, I can kind of understand some of that a little bit, but it's almost like, I don't know, man. It's almost like he's trying to go ahead and start getting folks on his side, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh my God, woe is me. I just found my family dead, kind of thing.
So this was my thought behind all this. His wife found out about the money scandals and everything, went to his family about it. His family came to him, led to this. So when I found out that he called all these people after the 911 call, that's why he was calling them. Like, I want to say, I can't remember. Did they ever prove that he was actually at his mom's?
I think so. I think the timeline might have been off.
Yeah. I think it was the time. Yeah, I think that's what it was, because they said something about they pinged his cell phone or something. I remember them talking about pinging his cell phone. It's been a couple weeks since I read up on this, and I've just been keeping up through text. I haven't. Today was the first thing I watched.
And this trial went on for a while, and there's a lot. There's been a lot of coverage on this before, during, and after.
He was driving a Chevrolet, and it's got OnStar. I wonder if they tracked that too.
Yeah.
True. It's not that hard to track your whereabouts with OnStar and your cell phone.
Yeah, well,
not at all.
Unfortunately, as far as the courts are concerned, there's only 3 people who really know the truth, and 2 of them are dead.
Yeah.
Right.
That is true. So I think we've talked about this about as much as we can. I mean, we're all kind of a little bit torn, I think, too. Adam, I mean, what are you seeing that maybe we hadn't mentioned yet? I mean,
I think we mentioned it, but just his reaction is kind of just like upset for a second and then off. And then he can talk about the gory details with no expression. So it just that to me is one of those tell signs that there's more to the story.
I'm with you there. I feel like he should have been a lot more hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to talk.
I think a lot of this was rehearsed, and I think he was trying to choose his words very carefully as a lawyer.
Yep.
And shit like that. But I feel like
good.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say he could also be one of those types of people that just has a really difficult time showing emotion,
and that's true.
My uncle's like that.
Well, he did.
He doesn't show any emotion at all for anything.
That's something Michael Tingley brought up.
It's just my uncle's just one of them people. He just, there's no emotion, nothing. Like he's, of course, then again, my uncle's he's a horse of a different color too. So, I mean, I've seen some things where he should have broken down and he just flat out no emotion at all. And to this day, I haven't seen any emotion out of him over certain things that he should have had emotion to. That I won't go into. But
some people just don't.
Yeah, no. I mean, this guy, he seems to be maybe one of those types of people where it bothers him for a minute, and then he just clears his mind, and then he talks about what he saw, and then he sits there and he thinks about it. He's like, "Oh my God!" It's like he's got a short circuit, and then he just goes right back into crying again.
And I mean, I've never been in that situation before. I don't know, how I'd react.
I like what Wizard says here.
His body language with it.
Wizard said, to be fair,
his body language with it.
Death barely affects me because of my work. We don't know. Again, to play devil's advocate on his side, like, we don't know what kind of photos he's seen. I don't know what kind of attorney he was. I just know he was an attorney.
Yeah.
Like, but we don't know what kind of photos he's seen over the years to, like, his attorney buddies. We don't know what he's seen.
You can be desensitized to stuff, but I'm kind of like Wiz though with the family member. I think
family member,
I think it would be different.
The kid, the wife, I could understand. The kid is what just can't.
Yeah,
because they were tight, man. He was tight with his kids.
I mean, not to go too deep into me, but I cry from not getting to see my son. I couldn't imagine how it'd be like if something happened to him.
Now there was an odd dynamic with Alec Murdaugh and his sons though. And Paul was kind of the black sheep of the family in a way. He was not planning. He didn't really want to become a lawyer. He liked the hunting and the fishing and all that stuff and partying and everything, but from a lot of the accounts that I've read and seen, the boys were tight with their dad for the most part. I think the older brother maybe more so. But I don't think there was hatred and resentment between the father and son. I'm thinking the most likely thing that happened is he got in an argument with his wife. He shot her. The son came to see what the hell was going on, and he had to shoot his son so he couldn't ID him. That's what makes sense to me. But I don't think that the state proved it beyond a reasonable doubt. And I think he may actually have a chance on appeal.
Yeah.
He may actually have a chance on appeal. Hey, Dom Fiander, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Sorry I missed your comment there. He said he's about to submit a shooting by a police officer after a man went for the officer's gun in Sydney, Australia, about 45 minutes away. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can take a look at that. I got one for Steve. This is coming again out of Pennsylvania.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Colorado.
No. This one's coming out of Pennsylvania. Let me get it pulled up here. So no bail for the Pennsylvania man that showed up with explosives in a suitcase at the airport. Who in the fuck takes explosives?
He just wanted to set off fireworks. Did you read through this yet?
Mark Muffley.
I look. No, I didn't read too deep in it. Hold on, I got to get this off the screen.
So he said that his plan was just to set off some fireworks when he got down to Florida, and that they were wrapped in plastic, and there's no way they could have gone off by themselves.
Oh my God!
Yeah, his name's Mark Muffley. He's 40 out of Lansford. He called his girlfriend for a ride when he heard his name being pasted at the airport, and soon switched his phone number to avoid being tracked. But yeah, he's accused of bringing. He had explosive materials, fuses, and a lighter in a suitcase that he checked for a commercial flight to Florida, and fled the airport when he feared arrest. The defense lawyer suggested that Muffley only wanted to set off fireworks on a Florida beach, where he said the one-time construction worker sometimes cares for an ailing grandfather. The magistrate detained him without bail, considering him a flight risk and a danger to the community. Authorities said the fact the explosive powder was packed in the same check bag with other items increased the risk of an explosion. The
What a dumbass.
Yeah, the baggage also contained a can of butane, a lighter, a pipe with white powder residue suspected to be methamphetamine, and a wireless drill with cordless batteries and 2 GFCI outlets taped together with black tape. That's weird to me. Why would you have? Why would you have outlets?
Well, maybe he was going to do some electrical work at the house he was going to stay at.
Is it GFCI? Isn't those aren't those the ground fault outlets that have the buttons in the middle?
Yeah, those are ones that you typically will find in bathrooms and kitchens
at the hotels and shit.
Yeah,
I guess you could use that as a detonator. If you had a charge
maybe the click. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but the defense lawyer argued that the items were not incendiary and therefore did not meet the requirements of the second charge that they gave him.
What kind of explosives were they? Were they just fireworks?
Well, so here's the thing.
No, I think you're taking the powder out of fireworks.
Yeah, I think they were taken out. So it says they found a 3-inch circular compound wrapped in paper and plastic that they believe contained a mix of flash powder and other materials used to make commercial grade fireworks. Okay. Attached to it was a quick fuse similar to a candle wick, apparently part of the original manufacture of the compound, as well as a slow burning hobby fuse that appeared to have been added later. Officials said believe the materials could be ignited by heat and friction and pose a significant risk to the plane and its occupants. I mean, why would you think that you're going to get on a fucking airplane with explosives in any way, shape, or form and then not find it, for crying out loud?
Yeah, it's guys like this. He's going to ruin it for everybody because the really badass fireworks were made legal here in Pennsylvania a couple years ago. And ever since they were made legal, you know, I go down there and I buy $600 worth of fireworks for 4th of July and for New Year's, and I have a little get together in the neighborhood, and everybody enjoys it. So
yeah, but
guys
you don't
like
try
that
to,
that are going to ruin it for guys like me.
Florida with them.
Well,
you can't do that. I mean, come on.
I don't know that they would outlaw the fireworks over that. I mean, this guy was trying to get on an airplane and go to another state with it, and it doesn't sound like he was trying to export it out or anything. This is like a small amount for him. I mean, this is all he had. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
What airport was he at?
Philadelphia International.
Fuck it. I'm driving down to Alabama when I go home.
Oh shit! There was a chase in Huntsville yesterday. State troopers. One man was hospitalized after colliding with a light pole.
Damn. While
attempting to elude troopers with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. He was driving at high speed and collided with a power pole at Bob Wallace and Old Madison Pike. Well, they tried to stop him for speeding on 565 while in Limestone County, but he continued driving. The pursuit continued into Madison County, where Humphrey ultimately left the roadway and struck a pole.
Yeah. Does this guy not know that 565 ends?
Jesus.
But not only that,
it started in Limestone County and it was coming this way into Huntsville.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, he started at the end.
Into a parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had another one. Where's it at? Get this shit. You want to talk about let's talk about another dumbass. We talked about the dumbass at the airport. Here's a real dumbass too. God damn. I love WAFF, but the ads on their website, Jesus Christ. Woman accused of using Ant's debit card to charge $12,000 worth of DoorDash orders.
What the hell?
So that's what, like 3 meals?
Yeah, damn it. She basically placed 3 orders from Popeyes.
She got the family pack.
Yeah, she made 136 purchases on DoorDash, totaling about $12,000 using her 73-year-old aunt's debit card. This is out of Hammond, Louisiana.
Oh, that's off of I-12.
Yeah. So according to the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, 31-year-old Miley Morris was booked into jail on February 16th on 816 counts of criminal financial charges. Authorities said
per wing.
it may be.
Wow.
She ordered about $12,000 worth of food and merchandise from restaurants and stores in the Hammond area from November 22nd to January 23rd. November, December, January. 12 grand. She orders were from retail stores that included Big Lots, PetSmart, Walgreens, CVS, Dollar General, and several fast food restaurants. Now, here I do have a little bit of an issue with this, though. Her bond was set at $18 million.
Holy shit!
Who the hell you know with now $1.8 million is just gonna come bail you out?
I think. Well, it's probably based on the number of charges, right? It's probably like a bond amount for each charge, and she's charged with 800 and something, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this to me meets the definition of excessive bail.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, they were worried she was going to use her aunt's card to get an Uber and leave town.
I mean, come on.
So what's this? $12,000 for 3 months? Is that what this is?
Yeah, $12,000 over 3 months.
That's way excessive. I couldn't spend $12,000 in 3 months if I tried.
I live on a military base with a bunch of teenagers that easily did it.
Dude, as much as nice as that would sound to do, I don't think I could.
Yeah, everyday life, no.
Well, so look at this $18 million bond, though.
Yeah, it's got me.
They don't want her getting out.
There are people that are charged with murder that get out on $500,000 bonds and shit. Why is this lady's bond $18 million?
Maybe because she's a gold digger and the judge knew it. He's like, you ain't getting out to do that again.
I mean, I can see.
It's
okay,
it's a combined amount.
It's got to be. It's got to be based on that. And I can see. Okay, fine. It's a lot of financial crimes, but there's one victim. There's one series of events. It's not like she was stealing multiple credit cards from multiple people, right? My opinion, she should have been held on a $50,000 bond, $100,000 bond. I think $18 million.
She's probably just not had a bond hearing yet.
Well,
in our system, like the way we had to enter charges, like you just enter the charge and the bond amount's already attached. Like we couldn't adjust. We could adjust the judge or whatever, or no bond. But
the judge can adjust it later.
My understanding is you can steal a lot of things, but the one thing you definitely don't want to get caught stealing is money.
Yeah,
because they will come down on you hard for stealing money.
Yeah,
I tell you,
maybe this is what falls into that.
Could be.
I'd have been pissed off if I was the jailer having to enter each one of them case numbers though, because that's a lot.
Well, here's the thing too. Onyx, you're from there. You may or may not know, but like I know some states, she wouldn't have been hit for the $12,000. She would have just been hit for stealing the credit card.
Yeah, it's different state by state, for sure. Now here it's every, just for the card. Yeah, I was about to say it's every transaction here.
Yeah, well,
it's a different charge for every transaction.
I had a family member steal another family member's debit card, and I mean, they just basically told the one family member, like, look, they had access to your card and they knew your PIN number, so.
Yeah. Something like writing a check. If you write the check, the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom says he submitted that thing.
But yeah, she's a super idiot. That's pretty shitty to do your family members that way. Yeah. All right, Dom, I'll definitely take a look at it. Corey, I love it. Corey said she must have ordered food for all his children.
She should have bought you a computer too, bro.
Yeah, for real, man. For real. So I've kind of covered most of what I wanted to cover tonight, but there's this one story that I wanted to save until we started kind of winding down a little bit, because I'm a little worried it may actually cause us to drone on just a little bit, because y'all know how I feel about the First Amendment and the right to the freedom of press. Let me pull this one up. This version of the story comes from News 19 WHNT. This is out of Tampa, Florida. Florida State Senate Jason Brodier or whatever, however the hell you say his name, wants bloggers who write about Governor Ron DeSantis. Hold on, let me zoom this in just a little bit here. Can I? It's not actually zooming in. No, it's not zooming in on this one. Come on, there we go.
There we go.
So anybody who writes about Governor Ron DeSantis, the Attorney General Ashley Moody, or other members of the Florida Executive Cabinet or Legislature, he wants them to register with the state or face fines.
No, that ain't cool.
The Republican, he's a Republican. His proposal, Senate Bill 1316, information dissemination would require any blogger writing about government officials to register with the Florida Office of Legislative Services or the Commission on Ethics. In the bill, he wrote that those who write, quote, an article, a story, or a series of stories about the governor, the lieutenant governor, cabinet officer, or any member of the legislature, and receives or will receive payment for doing so, must register with state offices within 5 days after the publication of an article that mentions an elected state official.
Nope, sorry. That dude's a rhino.
3 letters, baby. 3 letters, baby. VPN.
Yeah.
I wrote this in Ohio.
If another blog post is added to a blog, the blogger would then be required to submit monthly reports on the 10th of each month with an appropriate state office. They would not have to submit a report in months when no content is published.
Yeah.
Monthly reports must disclose the amount of compensation received for the coverage. If compensation is paid for a series of posts for a specific amount of time, the blogger has to disclose the total amount received. Additional compensation must be disclosed. How in the hell do they think they have this authority?
They don't. He don't.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. Now, does this cover anybody just in Florida, or is this anybody? Period.
Well, it's in the state.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're outside of the state, they can't do anything. That's why I said VPN.
Oh, fuck that guy anyway. He can go pound sand up his ass. He's got no right to do this, and by doing this, he's violating the Constitution.
So here we go. Check this out. Failure to file these disclosures or register with state officials if the bill passes would lead to daily fines for the bloggers with a maximum amount per report, not per writer, of $2,500. The per day fine is $25 per report for each day it's late.
Now I'd come back and I'd slap a lawsuit against this guy for violating my constitutional rights.
Yeah.
Here we go. This explains it. Fines would be made payable to the Executive Branch Lobby Registration Trust Fund. So it don't even go into the general fund of the state. This goes to a special trust fund.
That means it's lining his own pocketbook. That's what that means.
Trust my ass.
That's some bullshit.
Well, that means he has
that money goes right in his own pocket. That's what that's all about. That's a dirty politician, is what that is.
Yeah. Oh, well, check this out. So the blogger rule would not apply to newspapers or similar publications. In addition to the blogger regulations, the bill also removes provisions of state statutes to require judicial notices of sales to be published on publicly accessible websites and specifies that a government agency can publish legally required advertisements and public notices on county sites if the cost is not paid for or recovered by an individual. So they're also trying to hide when they have to do state sales, like if they seize property and sell it.
Yeah.
No. What a scumbag.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I'm just seeing Corey's.
Corey said that bitch forgot the PC. Yeah, if she was going to order all that free kids, she should have bought you the PC. Oh my God. I can't believe that somebody would even submit something like this.
No.
It all comes down to being, just dirty politics. That's all that is.
Well, that's a poor excuse for a conservative.
Well, he's a rhino. He's not a conservative. The guy's a rhino.
No. Well, no, he's just trying to create more government overreach.
Yeah.
Like,
we don't need more government. The problem is if you get more government, then that's when you get more problems.
That's why we're so damn poor right now, bro.
That's exactly right.
No, I'm poor.
You can say that 2 times.
I raised my right hand.
I don't complain about military spending. I don't think we do enough.
Not anymore. We don't.
I just think it ends up in the wrong people's pockets.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You gotta realize the idiots of this world are the reason for these shows. Like,
now I do have some other things that we'll have to get to next week that were submitted. One of them Stacy submitted. It was
that stupid bitch.
Yeah, it's a good one, but I don't want to cloud it up with a bunch of other stuff either, because we're gonna have a good laugh at this.
Me and Southpaw watched it. I watched it earlier with Southpaw listening to me crack up.
Yeah. But I'll look at what's been submitted. We're gonna look at some more stuff next week. There's also just to catch you up on one more thing before we get out of here. There was some more information that came out. Damn it, where is it? Okay, I guess I can pop this up on the screen real quick. There was a little more information that's come out, and we may have to actually, I think I might want to dive into this a little bit more. But there was some information out of Memphis on the Tyree Nichols case dealing with the EMT. So I think we'll probably try to maybe get to that next week, I'm hoping.
Now, are they gonna hold the EMT responsible for not doing anything when they showed up too?
Yeah, I think some of them have already been let go.
Good.
Good. I hope they have a charge for that in the state of Tennessee.
That whole situation was an absolute joke.
But there is so the Tennessee Emergency Medical Service did go through and suspend the licenses of two of them for sure. Said that they violated state rules of emergency aid and treatment. So that's going to be something that I think is going to require a little bit more discussion. But
hopefully there'll be more on it by next week too.
Yeah. So that's about it for covering things tonight. I'm doing good, Dom. I'm doing good, brother. Anything you guys want to say before we head out? Any parting thoughts? Yeah.
That Murdahl thing, man. I don't know. I'm torn on that. I need more information. I really do. I want to see more information on, because, like I said, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what was going on.
It's interesting. You'll be interested in it. Watch the documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
Because it talks about some of the other shit that wasn't even involved in this murder trial. This talks about some of the other deaths that are tied to the family, and him referring to
reopened.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they're reinvestigating some of that shit. But it's, you can hit some highlights and you can watch some clips from the trial and stuff, and you can get a good feel for some of it there, Steve. You don't have to spend a whole hell of a lot of time on it, but I think you'll be intrigued by it if you dig into it a little bit, because this guy, I think, thought he was untouchable, and the mighty has fallen.
Well, and still, I mean, I go back to the thing, and I kind of understand where Corey's coming from with it too. I don't know. I feel like he might be one of them types of people that has a hard time showing emotion. Because, like I said, my uncle is one of them types of people. We had some really bad things happen.
Wouldn't you be consistent though? Wouldn't you be more consistent?
No. My uncle's the same damn way. We had some really bad things happen in the family several years ago, and I don't want to get into it, but he still hasn't shown any emotion, and he should have. And it just, he'll talk about it, but he'll talk about it with a completely cold, dead stare about it, and it just.
Yeah, I'm with Mr. Wizard.
Oh wait, they got
something's off on the case.
Yeah, something's off, and I don't think that the reasonable doubt thing was met, even though he seems guilty. Corey's got a lot of good points too. They talked about a whole lot of, like, they painted him. They brought some other shit in that I think his lawyer really should have fought hard to keep out as not kind of, but they convicted him on his character in a way. And
I think his lawyer opened the door for stuff to come into trial that they were trying to keep out. But when they hit that line of question and the judge ruled if they had opened the door, and now the prosecution can use it in the case.
Michael Tingley says there's an HBO version also. Now I haven't watched that one. I'll have to check that one out.
I haven't either.
Maybe I can find that
on HBO Max. Yeah, on HBO Max there's one too. I need to
there's one on HBO Max. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to get more information on it. I'd actually like to find out more about his character before this.
Well, yeah. Now he so from what I understand, there's some point in his life where shit started going downhill. He got addicted to sex, drugs, and rock and roll, or so.
Well, I mean that would definitely do it to you. I mean, if he's on opiates or anything like that,
yeah, Oxycontin.
That'll mess your mind up.
Yeah, I think it was Oxycontin, pain pills, and stuff. So, I mean, very well respected man at one point, and then life fell apart thanks to drug addiction, pretty much. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that will definitely play a toll in one's psyche. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I'd like to know more about this guy before this happened. I can't really pass judgment because I don't know too much about it.
But yeah, take a look at it.
I'm really interested, and I'm actually really intrigued by it. I want to get a little bit more information because I don't know. I was the guy under influence at the time of the deaths. Does anybody?
I think
know
he
that?
was always under the influence.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty much always under the influence at this point.
I wonder if that had something to play into it. Let's say he did do it. Was he like? He must be completely medicated about it, or if he didn't do it, maybe this is keeping him from having the emotions because maybe he was clouded about it at the time. I mean, there's so many things going on about this thing. It's hard to say.
All right, so Corey's sharing something here. Said he found his cousin murdered 9 years ago, and he was questioned for the murder. He was a mess when he called 911, and by the time the cops got there, he was numb and in disbelief. So he says he can understand how he's acting.
Well, I mean,
and that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, the bad guy. What's going on?
Wizard said 60 minutes will do something with it.
Probably.
Probably.
60,
well,
see, people are going to make a cash cow out of it. Lifetime's going to do something with it.
Definitely.
They'll probably have a freaking.
They'll probably cast Alec Baldwin as the lead.
Oh yeah,
if he don't go to prison,
they'll have a ride at Universal.
No, they kicked that out. I heard.
Yeah,
they dismissed it.
So that's it. Anybody else with any parting thoughts before we head out?
Yeah, I think on the Murtaugh thing, I think that the Murdoch thing. I think if the only way to really come to a good conclusion is to actually sit down and look at everything, and we didn't get to see everything.
Yep, yeah, I agree with you on that.
It would take hours and hours and hours to go through that.
I say if he did not do it, I'm not going to say he wasn't responsible for it.
Or he should at least know something about it.
I think he took part in it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like the two-shooter thing makes a lot of sense with it being two different weapons.
Yeah.
And maybe more come out later. I mean, he's going to appeal. You know that's coming. He's going to realize him taking the stand was a mistake. They're going to probably try to offer some alternative theory of the crime.
I'm wondering if this could be something to.
Well, the defense tried that.
Yeah, not to sound like a conspiracy or anything, but like, what if this is something to help him get off of the, like, go ahead and admit to all the corruption and everything, and they'll lower the sentence on this. You know,
that's possible. Yeah. That's possible to make some deals around those financial things. All right. Well,
if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit, right?
That's right. That's right. Al Shark Skin.
Featuring a hit song by Randy Newman.
Yeah. I got some Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies are back on the market.
How do I exit this call? I hate you right now.
They've been out and about. They've been out and about. And I've already eaten some, but I've got some Dosey Does.
Oh my God, I love those.
Yeah, if you have Girl Scouts in your areas, I already ate those. Those are already gone. I can't show you those. Got some Thin Mints.
Oh, those are my favorite.
They had a new one I had never tried before. It's called Adventurefuls. It was like a chocolate brownie kind of cookie.
Hang on, I want to look this up.
Adventurefuls.
It's popping up.
Hey, Ember Rose.
You can order those on DoorDash.
Yeah, don't use your aunt.
Yeah, let me go to my aunt's credit card real quick, and I'll. I actually have a $20 off Uber. So.
Hey, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Good talk. It was a lot of fun to go over some of this stuff. I wish we had a lot more time to really dive off into the Murdoch case, because there's a lot of shit in that. There's a lot of layers of that onion to peel back. So, Steve, I can tell you, get you a cold drink, get comfortable, prepare to spend some time because it's rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fun. I probably could have got him off though. If I were to represent the guy, I probably could have got him off. I could have presented, this is a picture of Chewbacca. Why am I showing you a picture of Chewbacca? I don't know. It don't make sense. Just like this whole trial don't make sense. See the monkey? God. See the little monkey? No, I'm kidding.
I promise that next week I'll be in normal clothes as well. I won't be like
Do your thing, brother. We don't mind at all. Hey, Blade, what's up? So that's it, everybody. Y'all have a great week. We'll be right back here next week. I do have family coming in this next weekend. My daughter's having her baby shower, so we got a lot of family coming in.
Sucks. They're gonna have to make room for us.
Yeah, but everybody will be leaving on Sunday, so Sunday evening should be back to normal. But Friday and Saturday night, I'm pretty much out of the picture. But feel free to submit some vids, and we'll take a look at what we got, see what we can do. But y'all have a good one, and I'll see you all on the next one.
See y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here on screen. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I'll get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking right on me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me.